7 Golden Rules of Female Flirting. How to flirt with a man? Secret flirting techniques. You will seduce the man you want. Have you ever wondered why some men become completely fascinated by a woman after a simple date? What exactly makes him want to come back, can't stop thinking about you, and even feels like he has to win your heart again? That's not luck, that's strategy. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the secrets that the most seductive women use to leave a man completely attached to them, from the first meeting to building a lasting relationship. And you will learn everything about it right now. But before we start, if you like learning about seduction, conquest, relationships, and self-esteem, enjoy and give a like, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And to show that you are part of this community that is growing every day, write in the comments the phrase from this video. Flirting is more than just appearance. When we talk about flirting and seduction, many people think it's just about looks or what you say. But the truth is that the greatest power you can have is what lies behind what you convey without words, how you behave, how you communicate with your body, and, most importantly, how you make others feel good around you. Yes, body language is much more powerful than you realize. Let's start with one of the most important elements, the look. Imagine a situation. You are in a place, and suddenly, your eyes meet his. How do you react? Because I tell you one thing, the way you look at him could be the key to keeping his attention from the beginning. But don't worry, it's not just about staring. You need to create a connection through the eyes, in a subtle way, so that he feels there is something more there. When you look at him, do it gently, almost as if you were sharing a secret, without rushing, without fear. Let your eyes speak for you, conveying confidence and mystery. This is one of the most powerful tools to engage you. Now, imagine the power of your smile. And I'm not talking about a forced or exaggerated smile, but a subtle smile, which comes from within. Have you ever noticed how some women seem to glow with a simple smile? This happens because they know how to smile with their eyes, with their soul, conveying that they are happy and comfortable with the other person's presence. When you smile, you make others feel at ease, creating an atmosphere of security and trust. This is a simple but very effective trick. This is what I call wordless flirting. And it's not just the smile, but the way you behave around it. What if I told you that your body has a secret language that can be much more impactful than words? When you are with him, pay attention to your posture. The way you position yourself and move can say a lot about your intention. The body speaks. That's a fact. Avoid closing yourself off. Don't cross your arms. Don't shrink your posture. Stay open, relaxed. Keep your posture upright, but in a relaxed manner. When you are on a date and maintain this posture, he realizes that you are open to the conversation, without barriers, without defenses. This creates a feeling of closeness, of intimacy. Now, speaking of intimacy, subtle touch can also make all the difference. It's not about being invasive, but about creating a light physical connection. A touch on the arm, a light touch, can awaken feelings of closeness, making him want to get closer. This is essential for the flirting to progress into something deeper. Did you know that you can also engage a man with a simple question? It doesn't need to be an elaborate or mysterious question, but something that shows real interest in him, that makes him feel important. For example, ask about his passions, what he really likes to do. This creates an opportunity for him to open up, to show who he really is. And when it opens, you move even closer to it. Now that you have some of the essential tools to conquer and seduce a man, remember, the key is to be authentic, convey confidence and security, but also know how to be light and engaging. The secret to flirting is in the small details. those imperceptible moments to the eyes of those who don't have the trained eye to notice. But for you, who really want to understand how to win over a man in a unique way, these details can make all the difference. When you're talking to him, notice the way he speaks. The way he expresses himself can tell you a lot about what he feels and thinks. If he speaks quickly, it's a sign that he's excited and interested. If he speaks slowly, perhaps he is more thoughtful, more cautious. The way he communicates will greatly influence the dynamics between you. By noticing these details, you can adjust your behavior, adapting to his energy. If he's talking about something with enthusiasm, share the same energy, show genuine interest, ask questions, keep the conversation flowing. If he is calmer, more reflective, follow this energy, letting the conversation flow naturally, without rushing, without pressure. And there is something very important that many women forget during dates. When you're with a man, the way you take care of yourself physically also sends a powerful message. It's not about being perfect, it's about being good about yourself. The way you dress, take care of your hair, your skin, conveys that you value yourself. And that's something that attracts anyone. When you feel good about your appearance, this confidence is reflected in your attitudes, your look, your smile. This is captivating. Furthermore, there is a secret when it comes to the space between you. The way you position yourself during the conversation is also essential. Staying close to him, but without invading his personal space, creates a feeling of closeness without pressure. This increases intimacy and the desire for closeness. It's a subtle but very powerful game. But what about the voice? The voice has a hypnotic power, capable of transmitting security, mystery, and sensuality. The way you speak, the tone you use, the cadence of your voice. All of this has a direct impact on the man you are trying to win over. Speaking softly, with engaging intonation, can awaken a deep desire to connect with you. And most importantly, when speaking, always be truthful. No forcing behavior that is not yours. Authenticity is what attracts the most. When you are genuine, he notices and feels attracted to the confidence you convey. He feels like he can be himself by your side. And this creates a strong and lasting connection. Now, to maintain this emotional bond, it is essential that you also know how to give yourself space. And here's the secret: knowing how to give space without giving the impression of moving away. This creates the mystery. It makes him miss you. It makes him think about you when you're not together. And when you meet again, he will be even more interested in getting to know you more deeply. Let's now talk about one of the most powerful secrets when it comes to seduction: the art of silence. This may seem contradictory, but silence is one of the best ways to create tension and curiosity. People often believe that they need to talk all the time, say something interesting all the time. But in fact, the pause, the moment of silence, is an essential tool for creating a dynamic that captures a man's attention. Imagine the scene. You're talking to him, and suddenly you stop. Not because you don't have anything else to say, but because you're feeling like it's time to leave the space for him to fill. At this point, you don't need to say anything else. Just keep a soft, relaxed look. This creates a tension in the air, something like an expectation. He will start to wonder what you are thinking, what you are feeling. And deep down, he wants to know more about you. This makes him want your time and attention even more. And how to maintain this positive tension? Simply put, with small gestures. When you smile, for example, do so with a slight movement of your lips. It doesn't have to be something big. Sometimes a small smile that comes and goes quickly can be more engaging than a big display of joy. It's about letting his imagination work, creating a mystery around his person. The secret is to be subtle, but striking. Now, a trick that many call mirroring. Mirroring is the practice of discreetly imitating the movements of the man you are talking to. If he crosses his legs, you cross yours too. If he tilts his head to the side a little, you do the same. This creates a feeling of connection between the two of you, without him realizing that you are trying to connect in this way. Mirroring makes him feel at ease and in tune with you, as if you were on the same vibe, on the same wavelength. But remember, mirroring must be done subtly. It's not supposed to be an exact copy of his moves. It's not about imitating, but about showing that you're on the same page, that he can trust you and feel comfortable around you. Building a trusting relationship is also something that takes time and consistency. There's no point in wanting to move quickly, forcing intimacy or a deep connection right from the start. The secret to seduction is creating a safe environment where he can relax and feel comfortable. This involves showing vulnerability without being afraid to open up a little, to show who you really are. When he realizes that you also have your insecurities and fears, he will feel more comfortable opening up too. It's not about being perfect, but about being real, being authentic. And this creates a deep connection, which goes beyond appearance and first impressions. And at the same time, never lose your power. Never lose your power. What I mean by this is, even while you are vulnerable, never lose your value. Always remember that you deserve respect and should be treated with kindness. Seduction is not about submitting or being emotionally dependent. It's about showing your strength, your brilliance, and knowing how to awaken in him the desire to protect and conquer you. Now let's move on to something more intense. If you want him to not only fall in love with you, but want to get closer and closer, you need to touch something inside him that awakens that impulse. And how to do this? An extremely powerful way is through emotion. I'm not just talking about deep emotional things, but about evoking feelings of desire, of pleasure, of interest in the moment he's with you. Imagine you're on a date, and he starts talking about his hobbies or passions. Take advantage of this moment to show that you also have your interests, desires, and passions. Share authentically, but without exaggerating. Talk about something that is true to you, something that has emotional value. This will make him see you as an interesting person, a woman who has much more to offer than just her looks or good conversation. He'll start to see you as someone he wants to keep around, someone he can connect with on a deeper level. Don't underestimate the power of little things. A simple comment about something he mentioned, a look of understanding, a word of support, could be what makes all the difference. This creates a feeling of intimacy and understanding, which is exactly what he needs to feel more and more attracted to you. We're not talking about being submissive or pleasing him all the time, but about creating a healthy emotional exchange that makes him want to invest more time with you. And here comes another secret. When he feels emotionally attracted, physical attraction tends to intensify. When he sees that you are more than just a pretty picture, but that you have a unique essence, he starts to desire more. Not just more moments with you, but more of you. And at the same time, when he realizes that you have your own interests, your own space, and your own value, he will begin to realize that you are someone difficult to win over. And this challenge, as scary as it may seem to some men, actually increases his desire to get even closer. Now, if you really want to create a lasting connection with him, and not just a fleeting flirtation, you need to work on building an environment of trust and respect. This doesn't happen overnight. It is a process that requires patience, but it is worth it. Be emotionally available, but also know when to give space. Don't be that person who constantly puts themselves in the foreground, making others feel suffocated. Give him space to also open up and feel free to be who he is. But at the same time, don't be afraid to show your authenticity, your emotions, your limits. This will only strengthen the relationship between you. As time passes and the connection deepens, seduction becomes no longer about how you physically attract him, but rather about how you create a dynamic where he feels completely comfortable being himself around you. And that is the basis for a strong, healthy, and lasting relationship. The key to maintaining a man's interest, even after some time in a relationship, is not losing your essence. Remember that you are unique and have something valuable to offer. This shine that you transmit cannot be erased. When you maintain your own space, your interests, and your activities outside of the relationship, it makes him realize that you are invaluable. And most importantly, he will start to respect your presence even more, because he understands that you are independent and that he has to work hard to keep your attention. This doesn't mean you should walk away from him or stop investing in the relationship. On the contrary, you must be engaging, captivating, and above all, true to yourself. When you lose yourself in something you really enjoy, whether it's a creative activity, job, or hobby, you show him that you have a life full of meaning and purpose. This creates a sense of mystery, making him want to be closer to you, curious to know what you are doing and what you are thinking. Also, never underestimate the power of surprise. Monotony can be the enemy of any relationship. If you've been in a relationship for a while, try to keep things interesting. This can be done in simple ways, like going out every now and then for an unexpected meeting, or even having deeper conversations about topics that may never have been discussed before. Surprises don't have to be grand or expensive, but they should be done in a way that shows you still care and are invested in the relationship. When it comes to flirting and keeping a man interested, the secret is to be an unpredictable, but at the same time trustworthy woman. He must feel that he can count on you, but also that there is always something new, something interesting, another layer of your personality that he has not yet fully discovered. This keeps the relationship vibrant and exciting, something he won't want to let go of. Now, if the objective is to transform this flirtation into something more serious, more committed, it is essential that you show, in a subtle way, that you are willing to invest emotionally in the relationship. Don't do it in an aggressive or desperate way, but in a natural way, making him feel that you are a woman who knows what she wants, but who respects the other person's time and space. The key is to be patient and allow things to flow at your pace. If you are too aggressive, pushing for a commitment, he may pull away. But if you're too passive, he might start to question your intentions. Perfect balance is the key. Now, one point that cannot be missing in a healthy and engaging relationship is open communication. While flirting is all about subtleties and discreet hints, when the relationship starts to deepen, honest communication becomes key. You don't need to hide or wait for him to guess what you want or feel. Talking about your needs, your desires, and above all, your expectations is crucial for the relationship to be balanced. Good communication makes you both feel safe. Both partners should feel free to express their opinions and feelings without fear of judgment. This does not mean that you should be harsh or rigid with your words, but on the contrary, you should find a way of expressing yourself that is honest, respectful, and constructive. The key is knowing how to talk about problems in a calm and mature way without creating an environment of fighting or demanding. Understanding that communication is not just about talking, but also listening, is equally important. Listening carefully and empathetically, showing the other person that you really care about what they have to say, is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen an emotional bond. When he realizes that you are genuinely interested in what he feels and thinks, he will automatically feel more connected to you. When you listen with an open heart, the exchange becomes richer, and this increases trust. Trust is the foundation of any solid relationship. And when he realizes that you trust him, he naturally starts to trust you too. And this creates a true partnership, a partnership where both can support each other and grow together. Now, think with me. What happens when he starts to feel like you're someone he can really count on? This is what happens. When you manage to balance seduction with authenticity, when you allow him to see your most vulnerable side, but at the same time maintain confidence in yourself, he will feel that you are a woman with whom he wants to share his life, build something lasting. And not just him, but you too. This balance is the secret to a healthy relationship. Seduction is not just about hooking the other person, but about keeping the flame burning and the relationship engaging. Even after the initial flirting phase has passed, it's important to keep the magic alive without losing its naturalness. Now, a very important detail. If you want him to see you as the woman he wants for something more serious, you need to show that you are strong, that you have your own path, and that you don't need him to be happy. This doesn't mean you should pull away or feign disinterest, but rather that you should show him that although you enjoy his company, you are complete in your own right. This type of attitude will make him realize that he is with someone who has value, who knows what he wants and who is willing to invest in the relationship. And that, my dear, will greatly increase your attractiveness. The more you value yourself, the more he will feel motivated to conquer you every day. And at the end of the day, the greatest weapon you can use to win over and keep a man by your side is, without a doubt, yourself. There is nothing more seductive than a woman who is self-aware, who knows her worth, and who is willing to be truthful in all aspects of her life. Be sweet, but also be strong. Show your best side, without hiding your vulnerabilities, and know that you deserve someone who values you the way you are. And never forget, true seduction is what comes from within. When you feel good about yourself, confident and happy, this shows to the world and makes the man you want also feel irresistibly attracted to you. Therefore, invest in yourself, in your well-being, in your self-knowledge, and most of all, continue to be the incredible woman you are. Now that you've learned some of the most powerful secrets to becoming an irresistible woman, remember, seduction is a game that must be played lightly and intelligently. It's not about manipulation or trying to be something you're not, but about exploring your essence and strengths in an authentic way. And, to make sure you have everything you need to keep improving, don't forget to check out the 2 videos that are appearing on your screen now. They will complement everything we talked about today and will help you even more in this process of conquest and seduction. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive more videos like this. Be sweet and strong.